Hello and welcome to our 12th session, day 3, hour 1. We are continuing with our focusing. Let us first launch Unreal, and for that I will come into Epic Games Launcher here, and I will come into Unreal Engine Library, Camera Settings. This is in version 5.6. I will double click to launch this. Now this is launched and you have this message window. I will click clear and I will close this, and if there is any warning here, click no here. As of now, you have your module underscore 2 is over. I will come into the content drawer, and in content int vc come into maps main, and now I am going to open this module underscore 4 map. Double click to open this, and both the characters are here standing. I will right click, rotate and show it to you. So this is the scene. I will come into this clapboard icon here and choose module 4 sequencer to load it. So as soon as I load the sequencer, the character is going to sit down. So how are we going to animate this using blueprint? These things we will discuss it in detail later. So as of now, we have added the sequence, and let us concentrate only on the camera. So right now in this sequence we have two cameras already added. One is to the actor CU tray, and you can see it is placed in an interesting angle. So if I come into the perspective and choose CU tray, you can see how this character has been placed here. And another camera, if you click here, is the Zeva camera, which is focused to the other character. So right now here the exposure is set to manual. We are going to come into this exposure part later, but right now this exposure has been set to manual and it has been adjusted correctly. What we are now going to concentrate in this section is about the focusing. So I will come here, collapse all here, and I will open this. I will open int vc and I will come into the cameras. We have two cameras here, and I am going to add one more camera here. I will come here and I will eject out of the camera, and I am in the scene now. In the scene I will come into this add here, and I will come into cinematic, and I am going to add a Cine Cinema Camera. So I have added a new camera. The new camera is placed somewhere outside here. So along the x axis I will move it, along the y axis as I move it you can see the view is changing. Okay, so now the camera, see now it is coming inside. I will move it back. What I will do is I will come over here and I will reset the position to 0 0 0, so that the camera is at the center here. So I have reset it, then I will move it up. Okay, and I am going to now adjust this camera. Now this camera, where I want it to be adjusted is, I will move to the right here, okay, to this showcase here, and I will move a little up. You can see the preview here, or I will come here, click on the perspective, and I will choose this new Cine Camera Actor. What I will do is I will come into the outliner, I select this camera, press F2, and I am going to call this as Cine underscore focus. I am now going to drag this and put it into the camera folder. Now if you select this Cine underscore focus, scroll down, and if you see the settings here, so I will just increase the detail panel area here. So if you move down, by default set to 16:9 digital film, I will leave it as it is, and it has focal length 4 to 100 mm, and as of now its focal length is now set to 35 mm and with an aperture of 2.8. I want this camera to be focused to this number 4. So what I will do is I will right click the mouse, turn like this, then press A on the keyboard. See, this is moving very fast. I will roll the mouse down and reduce the camera speed to 1. Now I will press D and I will just move in like this. Okay, now I will press W and move in like this. So I have this number 4, and I want the camera to be focused to number 4. So as you already know, to focus to number 4, I can come into this focus, and in manual I can just select this and click here and I can focus this. But in this process what happens is, if I now right click, press S and move back, so whenever I am moving back or moving to some other distance, letter 4 has got out of focus. Or if I move closer, say if I move more closer, I will slightly speed up. See, now if I move closer it becomes black. So whenever the camera is moving, every time I need to keep on doing the focus on this subject. So even in real life, when we are using the camera and if the object is moving forward and backward from the camera, we need to adjust the focus constantly, and we use certain devices and we call this as pulling focus. So, pulling focus means the focus will be preset to the two positions of the actor and our camera assistant will shift. He will mark it on a pen where he has to move it, and he is going to move it manually. We call this as pulling focus in cinematography. Now, here if to adjust this pulling focus, if I want this phone to remain focused irrespective of my camera position, then I have to track this object continuously and my camera has to keep on focus it continuously. It should always remain in focus. So, for that purpose, if you come into focus method, if I click on this drop down menu, there are three options here: manual, tracking and disable. So, if I disable it, see the focus has no effect at all. You need not worry about focusing. Wherever you go, the object remains focused. The future focus itself is totally disabled. Means this is not simulating the real world correctly. However, here apart from manual, I have another option here called as tracking. So, when I select tracking, immediately I have a menu here opening here, which is now I will just increase the size, track focus setting. I will open this, and in this you have an option here, add to track. So, what object I want to track? Right now this is set to none. Okay. So, I can select any of the object here in the list. Okay. Or otherwise I have an ink dropper, select the ink dropper and click on this object. Now, this 4 letter is focused, and now if I right click, press S and move the camera back, see wherever I move the camera, the letter always remains focused. See, even if I move forward, see how much ever close I go or how much ever, see this is not focused because see this does not get focused because our focus is only on 4. So, the number 4 is constantly focused. We are focusing object here. How to focus a character? Say for example, in your scene you have a character, he will keep on be moving in the screen. For this purpose, what I will do is, I already have 2 cameras here, one focus to character Trey and one focus to character Zeva. So, I will select this character Zeva camera, and then I will come into the view here and I will choose this camera. So, now this object is clearly focused and the aperture exposure is also precisely set, that is why it is appearing, the skin tone everything is appearing fine because this aperture everything is manually set correctly. If I right click and if I move S, see as I move back the object gets blurred. If I move forward also the object gets blurred. So, as the camera is moving, I want my camera to track this object. So, for that again I will select this CU_Zeva camera, come into the details, and in the details if I now come into the focus setting, and in this focus setting again I will choose tracking, and once I select the tracking you have the selector here. I will select this and I am going to select this character, and this character I have selected here. You can see here it is BP_Zeva, the character is selected. However, even after selecting the camera you can see it is not clear. So, even if I move forward or move, see the character is not focused. Although I am selecting it, you are not seeing this character clearly focused. The reason for this is, see now when you enable tracking, always this tracking will actually track to the origin point of your character. Say for example, if I come here into character and if I select BP_Zeva, if I eject the camera, come into perspective view, and if you see here, I will middle mouse click, pan down and I will show it to you. See the origin point of this object is at the shoes here. So, when you set the camera to focus, the camera is not focusing to the face, the camera will be focusing to the shoes. I will come into Zeva camera here, I will actually select this camera here, I will right click and press Q and I will move down, and if I come down to the chappal here, you can see this area is clearly focused. Even if I move forward or backward, see this remains clearly focused because this is the focus point that it is getting focused. So right now I doesn't want this to get focused here. I will press E and move up. See, if I move up, see, I want this to be always focused to this object. So in this case what we do is, we are going to add some focus helpers. I will come into this 01 camera, then I will come into the add menu, and in basic you have actor. So I will click on this actor and I am going to add an actor. So automatically an actor is added here. I will press F2 and I am going to call this as Zeva underscore focus tracker. Zeva focus tracker. I have given it the name. I will drag this and I will put it inside, move this and put it into the cameras folder. So right now it is here, and to place it exactly on this face, what I will do is, I will eject the camera and come out, and in the perspective view I will select this and I will press F to move it here. See, this object is placed somewhere outside now, so I will move it inside, and it is best to come into the top view. I will press F and you can see this is placed here. I will just drag it inside and I have to place it near my character. So my character is here. See, I will right mouse click and drag up, right mouse click, it will pan. Okay, so now I will move it and place this exactly on the character. I will also come into my right view and see that this is precisely placed over the character. See here, the character is here, so I have to place this over the character. And now I will come back into my perspective view. I will press F and I will move in. See, now this is almost placed at the character. I will right mouse click, turn and press D and move to the side. I will press Q and move down, and see that this is set somewhere to the front area of the face like this, near the eye, so that this area has to remain focused. I will come over here, I will zoom out, I will right click, I will press D and I will move to the side. So I will come out to the side view. So now you can see here, and I will just press W and move out here. So now I will press E and move up. See, you can see here this has been placed correctly. So once I have placed this tracker correctly, I will come into my CU underscore Zeva camera, and then I will just move down and coming down here to the focusing. Now using this tracker, or I will just click here and in the search I am going to type Zeva and I am going to select this Zeva focus tracker. Now what it is going to do is, so in this case if I come into my Zeva camera and if I right click and if I press S and move, now you can see that wherever I move, so whichever position, I will press G to hide all this extra object, and now I will show you. So wherever I am moving, see my character always remains in focus. See, wherever I am going, my character, even close up or right, so wherever I pan the camera or tilt the camera, so wherever I move, the focus always remains to that character. When we are attaching it to the character, right now the character is sitting. However, say for example this character is moving. Now you may think that if I want this to be locked to this character, the best way is to parent this object to this character. So what I can do is, I will open the character, and this is Zeva character. I can just drag this and make this the child of this Zeva character. So now if I select the Zeva character, now if I select this and if I move this object, see along with the object my target is also going to move. Now what happens is, if it was a normal character, you could have moved it and adjusted it. So now see, the character stood up. I will eject the camera, come out. If I select the tracker, see the tracker has not moved with the face. The tracker still remains here only. Okay. So if I select the Zeva, can just come into this character here, move up, and in this you have this link face head. I will just enable and disable and do this. So the character is reset, and now you can see that this tracker is not locking to the face. It is locking somewhere here. So in case if I move this, it will again sit down. So now if I want this to track exactly to my face, then the procedure we follow is little different. Now come into my content drawer, int VC, and inside this I am going to create a folder called BP_focus. Now already I have a folder called BP_focus. I will double click to open this, and inside this I am now going to right click and I am going to create a new blueprint class. Don't worry about these things, we are going to discuss it in detail in future classes. Right now you just add a new blueprint class, and the type of class you add it as an actor class. Then I am now going to name this Zeva head_bone. So I have given it the name as Zeva head_bone. Already in the project, Trave head bone is already created. I have to now come into my outliner and see, I will come here, collapse all, open this, and inside the character I have BP Zeva, and in this BP Zeva I will slightly drag this, make it longer. You have one option here, edit BP Zeva, because this is a blueprint actor. So when I click on edit BP Zeva, this is going to open this in a blueprint window. See, this opened in a new window, and you can see lot of nodes here. These things we will discuss it later, because this is a huge component wherein we can control every part of our character using scripting. Okay. So you have three options here: event graph, construction ship, and viewport. And I will come into the viewport here, and if this viewport is not open, you can go into window and click on viewport to launch it. And you have component, both viewport and component, you keep it on. Component will be open on the left hand side. Now what I have to do is, I will just move this little to the top, and I will come into the content drawer. I will select this Zeva head bone, drag it, and inside this I will bring it inside the body and make this a child of the body. See, now it has not come into the body, it has settled in this root. I have to now drag it and make it the child of the body, so that this should be inside the body. So once I have added this to the body, then I will select this and come into the details, and in the details you have parent socket. If I click here, you have all the bones of my character, and in this I am going to select the head bone. I will select the head bone and I am going to parent it to my head. See, I will just maximize it. So you can see it is parented to the head. I will middle mouse click and I will pan it. I will just turn it a little, press D or A to move. See, what I can do is, this camera speed is very much high. I will reduce the camera speed and press D. I will move it, and now I want this to be placed precisely here near the eye. What I will do is, I will come into the right view here, so, or I will come into left view. You can see the character now. I will place this. See, if I zoom it too much, that gizmo disappears. Zoom out and move this gizmo and adjust it in between the eyes like this. Then you also, I will come into the front view now, and in the front view, see that here this is moved forward and placed at this point. Okay. So, I have adjusted to this point and I am going to click on the compile button. It is going to compile and there are 2 warnings, that is fine. Then I will click the save button here. So, once I save and once I close this, see now automatically inside this Zeva you have this Zeva focus tracker and also Zeva head bone. Now I will select this focus tracker and I will make this a child of this head bone, and then I will reset its position to 0. So, it will automatically fix to this origin, and then I will come back to my Zeva camera, and then if I scroll down here and in the focus tracking, now it is already set to Zeva focus tracker. If I come back here into the open the camera view here, and now I will right click, I will press W, move forward and come closer here. As I am moving, you can see the character is focused, and now if the character stands or runs, so for example to exhibit it, I will come over here, I will select my character BP underscore Zeva and I will just click on this link face head. Once I click and off it, see the character position has changed. I will then deselect the character. Now I will right click, press E and move up, press W and move forward. Now you can see even when the character is standing, the face is focused, because in our character this focus tracker is now going to move with the camera. So, now if we animate the character to run or to move, wherever the character is moving, our camera keeps focus. So, this focus tracking is one of the most important concept which we have covered it in this session. So, now I will right click, press S. So, if I just scroll this and move it back, the original position will come. I will right click, press Q and I will move down and I will set this back to this view. Now, I will go back to file and choose save all. So, now in this session we understood how we can track an object and focus it consistently in our camera using empty actors, and also creating an actor blueprint and linking it to our character head bone. We can actually make it track even when the character is running or when the character is moving, even when it is animate. So, we are going to discuss about this blueprint, characters rig, we call it as the rig, control rig. These things we will discuss it in our future session. So, with this I will conclude this session, and in our next session we are going to discuss about exposure settings.